All right. How much of the Smartum Steve Dave, are you up to date with all of that?
Yes.
Okay. You know about the black chicks?
Kind of. I sometimes when I'm listening at work, I tend to zone out.
All right. See, I found a picture of the video in question.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I'm not sure if I should tweet it to Kevin Smith or not and say like, "Hey, this is the one. This is the one that Muse was talking about. Dang it, the black chicks."
Yeah, that was our guest on our first Bagged and Boarded live show was Jason Muse.
Oh, he's funny.
He's hilarious.
He goes into all these fascinating stories that just draw you in. It's like, wow, very. You can't make that stuff up, man. It's like
no.
It's like right there.
Totally.
So I got a couple of questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Now that Bagged and Boarded has become a part of this Smod Castle, do you think that you, with your Brendoman Minute, is going to become more of a longer thing associated with the show? Are you going to have more exposure now?
I don't want to comment too much, but definitely yes. I will definitely be a much bigger part of the live show. Definitely.
Well,
the audience will just have to keep listening.
How has the podcast? How has it? What I mean to say is, has the podcast brought more exposure to the other things that you do, like your webcomic? And
definitely. I got a guy in Australia that's been sending me Brax fan art and strips, and they're pretty awesome.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and we're hoping, he's still working on his strips that he's doing, but he's a pretty good artist. His name's Connell, and he's been sending me stuff, and then, just more people reading the comic, which is cool. And it was cool, just when I'm at Smod Castle, people be like, "Oh, hey, Brendoman," and that's fun,
Yeah,
fans.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's good. Getting more commenters on my website, which is nice. Even though I barely update it anymore, I don't have time. Got too much on my plate right now. But it's fun, definitely fun.
Well, that's great. Another question is, have you thought about showing some of your webcomic at Comic-Con? I know that they have certain small press kind of things going on.
To get a table at Comic-Con, it's about, I think the waiting list right now is several years. So at some point we might go in with some people we know.
All right.
Once we have a book, because really there's no point in going to Comic-Con unless you have something to sell, because
that is true.
We don't do sketches, because this is a secret about Brax and about me and Phil. We don't draw. So it's not, because a lot of those webcomics guys, they make their money at cons by doing sketches for people. So that's kind of a whole revenue stream that we don't have the liberty of doing. So we're working on.
I'm sure you're not the only
Yeah.
person that has a webcomic that is in that kind of situation.
Oh, yeah. So we are, I would say, 2/3 of the way done with our first book. Just getting it together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be really cool. It's basically like it's in the style of like a rock zine, like an old school punk rock magazine, like Maximum Rock and Roll or something like that. And it's going to have the comics and some band interviews. And we got a hand-drawn cover by my cousin Jeremy, who does a really cool comic called Black Cats.
Nice.
And it's an awesome cover. It's basically a homage to 50s B movies, like sci-fi movies.
Excellent. I'm a fan of B movies.
So
of
yeah,
certain ones in general. Well, the infamous Manos, Hands of Fate.
Definitely.
Yes, it's one of those movies that when it gets in you can't break yourself out from it. It gets inside you. It's like a damn virus.
Definitely. Thanks, lady.
Oh yeah, she's my silent partner.
Do you have a name for her?
Oh, she's just a lady.
Okay, so she's just lady, just a lady. Gotcha.
She reminds me of my nanny.
Awesome.
So let me go and see what kind of classified information I can pull from you. See, because there must be a reason why they call you Brendoman. And it was discussed on Bagged and Boarded, but maybe some of my viewers do not know about Bagged and Boarded. So maybe you can enlighten them with how you became the Brendoman.
Oh man, well this goes back about 10 years actually. I had a friend in college who he was my best friend. His name was Matt, and we were big U2 fans because they were pretty big at the time. And we were watching a video, and Bono was wearing a shirt that said "Bono Man," like 2 words, and I was like, "That's pretty cool. I want a shirt that says Brendan Man, because that's my name, Brendan." And Matt's like, no man, it's got to be Brendo Man. And we made a shirt, and we had a band, and it was called the Brendoman All Stars. And I got up and basically screamed random poetry. It's kind of like Henry Rollins or something on acid.
Oh, that's quite creative.
Yeah. And then from there, the Brendoman thing stuck.
Did you guys have colorful outfits? Was
Pretty much.
Was it like, ripples and strange colors and maybe some face paint, kind of Kiss-like?
I once wore very stylish sunglasses, but we were not that creative, man. We were on a very low budget. You have to understand, we were in college, very poor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know how that is. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a fun time, and the Brendo thing stuck from that, and then when I decided to get into blogging, and like a year later, I bought the domain brendoman.com, and a brand was born, I guess.
All right. Now, let's talk about your webcomic. What made you create it? What was the motivation behind your stories?
Well, my other best friend, Phil, and I, along with my friend Matt, we used to put on concerts, and we in Southern California, in the LA, Orange County area, and we were in a band, and my friend Matt has been in several bands. In fact, he's currently in a band called Cold War Kids. They're a very popular band with the kids these days. Mm-hmm. So we were very involved in the music scene, and so we had all these stories, and at first we were like, we should write a book, or we should do something else. I'm like, we'd probably get sued by these people, because, we had all these ridiculous stories of us that had happened, and so we kind of put that on the back burner. And then Phil had come up with the idea on our website that we had for like our little record label, for an alien named Brax, and he would make these little like sort of flash animations, not really, with the alien, and it was very rudimentary. And then he'd like tell these little stories of things that had happened at shows, and we made like 3 of those, and then he stopped doing it. And then a few years after that, I got into webcomics, and one day, I'm like, yeah, but I was thinking, I'd like to do this, but I can't draw at all. Mm-hmm. And then I saw the comic, which changed my life. Well, 2 actually. One was XKCD, because I'm like, that guy draws stick figures and gets 1 million hits a day. but the writing is really good, and I felt that's where our strengths were. So we could do. But then the comic that really solidified that we could do that was a comic called Dinosaur Comics,